Stat 9.3-2, not 0.2. Sampling distribution of means, day 2. Okay. Because sometimes the numbers don't match the 0.2 and 0.3 and stuff like that. I don't know. Oh, it's probably an April Fool's Day joke that they put on. So Notability created a they're probably like, well, everybody's gonna be like, oh, there was a duck in it. Cute. I bet if I open up a new one, it might happen again. No. Let's see. Let's see if I close it. No, just that first time. I moved the duck away. All right. So once again, our parameter is mu. The statistic is X bar. Mu stands for population mean. X bar stands for sample mean. Now, the major thing that we have to talk about here, of course, are the conditions, or sorry, the assumptions, conditions for approximately normal. So we're checking this. What we're doing is we're checking the sampling distributions. Now, the first two, once again, stay the same. The first two conditions are the same. The sample must be random, and the sample size, n, must be less than 10% of population, of the population. Yeah? Oh, early college?
I forgot Mr. Williams said.
So these two things, though, these confirm the assumption of independence.
That's not for you.
So these conditions are the same conditions from when we did sample proportions. That nothing changes this, because independence is independence. It doesn't matter what the variable is. These two things right here you will always do. However, the third one, the third condition is normality. And we do not use success and failures as a reminder, because this is not proportions. Okay? To do this, as we learned yesterday, we use what is called the central limit theorem, CLT. And to get this condition, there are 3 ways that this can happen. Okay? Central limit theorem. One way is that the population, this is what we did yesterday, the population is approximately normal. Okay? This is what happened in yesterday's problems. This is what we talked about in our do now. In our do now, we were sampling from some population that was already approximately normal. So it is. Now, let me be this a little bit more. One of these 3 must be true. It's not all 3 of them, okay? It's not all 3 of them. One of these 3 must be true. In yesterday's problem, it's approximately normal. The new one that we're learning today, and this is it. Remember, so the central limit theorem says we say it's approximately normal. This is what Min was trying to look up and search for. And the answer is what? When what? You wrote the answer in 2 days ago's do now. When what? when n greater is at least 30. Greater than or equal to 30. 30 is the magical number for the central limit theorem. All right? Now, here's the thing. It's not 100% true every single time. 30 does not magically happen. But we as statisticians, that's kind of like our golden number. Some people that want to do more, there's some people that use 40 because they want a bigger sample just to make extra sure. Some people even use as little as 20. But 30 is the standard that we have as statisticians. And it says basically there's very few populations that once you get a sample size of 30 where it still won't be enough. Okay, but almost in all, so like here's an example. One of the examples is if you look at the salary of CEOs, that is so extremely skewed that in order to turn something that is so extremely skewed into approximately normal, you need almost a sample of 100 in that scenario. But for the most part, n greater than 30. Now, the last one. In this course, we are not going to do it for the last one, but I am going to put it into notes. I felt, talking with Ms. Page, I felt that this last scenario one is more towards, I think we're not going to test you on it. It won't see it. But the sample is roughly unimodal and symmetric. And I'm not going to go too much into it because we're not going to cover this one. I'm putting an X over it, even though this is one of the true things. Let me go into detail about this. And this is the one time I'm going to go in detail because, again, you might take this in college and you might need to do this. If you took a sample, now, the sample usually will look like the population. So if I took a sample and it looks roughly unimodal and symmetric, what could I assume about the population? That the population is approximately normal. Basically, what it says is that if this happens, then this assumption, the first one, is probably true. If you took a sample and it looks roughly unimodal and symmetric, it probably means that the population was approximately normal. We won't do that to you. Okay? We won't do that to you. And I might have to remove a couple problems in order to do that. But I think we're going to stick with these two. The population is approximately normal, or n is greater than or equal to 30. And you got to see one of those. Now, what do these tell us? If all three are true, check. So if this is true, and this is true, then the sampling distribution is approximately normal. And as we learned yesterday, the mean of the sampling distribution of sample means is just the mean. And the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of sample means is the standard deviation over the square root of n, which you did in your do now. That's what I walked you through. We are now going to, the time that we have left, we're going to do one more example together where we're going to need to use that n greater than or equal to 30. Okay? Give you 1 minute. Actually, I'm just going to write it down just so that we can get this and then you can pause there. So here's my example. The weights of RBA students have a mean of 125 pounds with a standard their weight. Question A. Check the conditions for approximately normal. Okay. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's off on this one. Now, let me add this one. We sampled 36 students randomly. I'm going to add the randomly there so that fixes it. If it's not, then we would assume that the sample was random. There's nothing that says I just asked 36 of my closest of my best students. I didn't ask 36 because it could. There's potential non-randomness here, right? If I was lazy, maybe I went to the gym and I only asked the students that are in the gym and I got their weights. That's bias because the people that are in the gym are likely not like the other students, like the general population of the school, right? So, but I'm just going to add randomly. So let's check our conditions. 1, what's our first condition? Or we can just do it that way. S, let's do S first. Sample is random. And if it wasn't, we would just say is assumed random. So check. Next one, the I. "36 is," and we're going to use the students, is less than, right? Less than 10% of RBA students. This is where I put the students. I could have said, I was going to be redundant, but you're right. Chloe was saying 36 students is less than 10% of students. So we have less than 10%. Last condition, and again, this has changed for us, the N. For this one, I'm going to state CLT, okay? Central limit theorem. N is what? Or 30. N equals 36, which is at least 30. I'm writing out in words. If you wanted to, you could say N greater than or equal to 30, but I know some of us are still struggling with which direction, so you can write it out in words. So our sample size is greater than 30. So therefore, check. B, describe the sampling distribution. Okay? So what is the sampling distribution? Approximately normal. What is the mean of X bar? What is the mean? What is the mean? No, what is the mean? Read the question. I stated to you. 125 pounds. And what's the standard deviation? Huh? What is our standard deviation? Come on, we got 3 minutes. What is our standard deviation? Standard deviation is 20 over the square root of 36. 20 over the square root of 36. Which gives me 3.33. Not 20, 3.33 is the correct answer. Okay? C, last question. What is the probability weigh an average of at least 130 pounds? So what's the chance that I do 36 students and that their average weight is at least 130 or more? Okay? What am I going to pull up right now? I'm going to pull up Desmos. I'll put this over here so you can see it. I'm going to pull up Desmos graphing calculator. Okay? I'm going to click into here. I'll come back. Functions, normal DIST. The mean I had was 125. The standard deviation was 3.33. And then I want to find at least, which is to the right, of 130. There is my answer right there. So the probability that the sample average is greater than 130 is 0.067. That's the last type of problem that we will give you. That is the entirety of what one of these problems would look like for this third section. Now notice, in this example, in the notes, we had to use n greater than or equal to 30. In the previous example from the do now, we didn't use n greater than or equal to 30 because the population was already approximately normal. That is our lesson. That is our unit. We will practice tomorrow.